Hey guys, how's it going? TechSpecs here, hope you're doing well. So, we are back after a month of not uploading any videos, and somehow, whilst I was gone, we managed to reach 500 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the love and support of the channel, and I honestly cannot wait to see what the next 500 subscribers are going to bring, because it's been an amazing journey so far, and we're already halfway to 1,000. Wow, that's incredible. But for now, since this is a very special occasion, I thought let's do something a bit different. Today I'm going to go through how I make a TechSpecs YT video, as I figure that you guys might be interested in it, and it will also be kind of fun to reflect on this in the future. So let's split this into 3 parts. Number 1, planning and scripting, 2, filming, and 3, editing and making thumbnails. Before I even start considering making a video, I always ensure to plan it first. As of recently, I've started to use Notion to manage all of my ideas and notes both for school and for YouTube, and I tend to keep a list of possible video ideas where I sort them by definite, maybe, and milestones. Definite video ideas are ones that I'm mostly certain I'll be able to do, and chances are they usually end up becoming videos on the channel. Under maybe are ideas that I play around with, and more often than not, these ones never actually make it into a proper video, as I usually realise before making them that the result may not be up to my standards, or that you guys might not actually be interested in watching it. And then of course, milestone video ideas are ones like this one, where I say, okay, in this case I said at 500 subscribers we're gonna make a video about making videos. Either way, once I have finally found a solid video idea, I then come up with various titles that I could use for it so that I hook people in. I also then tend to do some quick sketches of possible thumbnails and notability on my iPad, and although I probably spend way too much time colouring it in and annotating it, it really helps me to visualise how my video is going to look before I actually even go and make it. After that, the next thing to do is write the script. This is probably one of my least favourite things to do, but it is also one of the most important things to do, because if you don't get it right, then the entire video will likely go to shambles. Underneath my thumbnail sketches, I'll usually make a bullet point list of the key things that I want to talk about. If it's a review, I'll do subheadings of what areas I want to cover, or if it's a comparison video, I'll do subheadings of each category. As with everything, breaking it down into smaller chunks definitely helps to reduce the chance of overwhelming yourself, and this then sets up the foundation for the actual script, where I will then type out under these headings what it is I actually want to say. The final stage of planning is then going through the script and making sure it is as concise as possible. I am definitely one that will end up waffling or going off on tangents, so this is important, as otherwise you, the viewer, may no longer be engaged. And as you saw just now, to keep that engagement, in the script I usually schedule a B-roll sequence and music change between each section so that I can bring back your attention if it's starting to wander off. Anyway, the next part of making videos is, well, filming them. Once I've written the script and gone through it to ensure that I know what I want to say, I then go and highlight the parts that I want to be seen on camera for, and make a checklist of what shots I want to essentially cover up the other bits when I'm just reading off of the script. The reason for doing this is because I realised early on that I was spending lots of my time trying to look at the camera for the entire video, when in reality I wasn't even going to be seen for most of it because it was covered in B-roll. So this tactic helps a lot if you're like me and struggle to simultaneously know what to say and also look at the camera. Of course, when I film these videos to you, I'm always sitting here in this iconic corner with my desk, the TechSpecs sign, the iMac with a picture related to the topic that I'm talking about on it, and next to it the good old fake plant. But from my point of view, this is what I actually see. You have my iPhone 10, which is what I use to film, the Boya BY-MM1 microphone that's connected via a lightning dongle, a tripod from Amazon to hold my phone still, and my iPad over here with the script to read off of. As for lighting, we have the infamous window that previously used to cause lots of reflections in my glasses, and when it has been dark and cloudy outside, I also put this adjustable LED lamp up on the shelf to provide me with some more brightness, again trying to cause as least reflection as possible. Unfortunately, I don't have anything too fancy like a teleprompter or a secondary display so that I can see myself when I'm filming, but I do make use of the Apple Watch camera remote to start and stop filming, and also to see a small preview of everything that's in frame. Once I've made my way through the script and finished talking to the camera, I then move on to filming B-roll, which is essentially lots of 5 to 10 second clips that I can overlay over whenever I'm talking about something. So say I start talking about a phone, I then have a shot of a phone. And when I start talking about, I don't know, a YouTube pillow comes up. However, since every B-roll shot is different, I'll go over some of the main techniques that I use to make each shot effective. The main one is just general panning, and that's essentially the smooth movement around the subject so that it's more engaging than just a still photo. Usually I just position my tripod somewhere and use the stick part to slowly move the camera. Or if I can't do that, I do an awkward maneuver with my hands, trying to keep the camera of my phone as steady as possible. A handy tip to do alongside this is film B-roll in 60 FPS instead of the normal 30, and then slow this down to 50% when editing so that you get an even smoother shot and twice the amount. The other main B-roll technique that you may have seen me do is the top-down shot. Essentially, I extend the tripod to the max and make sure that from my phone's point of view is looking right down onto a surface from a bird's eye view, and then from there I place some kind of coloured card as a backdrop, and then the main thing that I want to show you in the centre of the frame. Of course, any of you who like spotting Easter eggs will notice I put lots of things that I have in my room in the corners, be that Lego minifigures, fake plants, headphones, a speaker, and much more. This is probably my favourite part of filming because it allows me to make it really fun and interesting, and even if not many people are going to notice all the hidden references that I sneak in, it's really satisfying for me. So, once I've collected all of the shots that I think I'll need, I then move to my editing software of choice, DaVinci Resolve. After importing everything, I firstly cut up the A-roll of me talking so that there aren't any awkward gaps of me reading what I have to say next, or any wrong takes of me struggling to say a sentence 5 times in a row. Because yes, that happens more often than not. After that, I then add in each B-roll clip over the related part of me talking about it, and slow it down and drag it out appropriately, and if it's an image from online then I usually apply dynamic zoom to make it have a similar pan effect to any of the real life shots I've taken myself. For each and every clip, both A-roll or B-roll, after cutting I usually go into the color tab and adjust the brightness and contrast to make each one pop more. Because believe me, this is what it looks like straight out the camera, and this is what it looks like after adjustment. It makes a massive difference. As for transitions and text, I normally just use DaVinci Resolve's included ones and haven't really looked much at learning the Fusion tab so that I can make my own. For things like the intro graphic as you saw at the start, I just take an image of the TechSpecs logo, turn dynamic zoom on, add an iris open animation before and after it, and then sync it to the music, and boom, we're done. Speaking of music, the background music that's in all of my videos is usually from the YouTube audio library, as it has a vast selection of tracks for all moods and genres, and is guaranteed to be copyright free since it's from YouTube themselves. And then, after I've edited everything in place, I export and start the upload process. But it seems like we've forgotten one thing. Thumbnails. Going from the sketches that I did during the planning stage, I tend to take a photo shoot of whatever my subject is, and then select the best candidates to further crop and edit. The best software that I've found for thumbnail editing so far is Pixelmator Pro on the iMac, as it contains all of the photo adjustments you could possibly need, as well as layering tools to add text, and brushes to add glowing or shadow effects. However, I usually try not to go too hard on the text and the small details in my thumbnails because most of the time it's going to be seen as a tiny little preview on a phone. So as long as it gets the point across through the image in at most 3 or 4 words, then it's all good. A perfect thumbnail for me is clear and minimal and makes the viewer look at the image and think, wow, that looks like it would be interesting, and then when combined with the title, it convinces them to click and start watching. Which is exactly what you did when you first started watching this video, even if it was subconsciously. And that brings me to the end of it. If you enjoyed this style of video, or even learn a thing or two about how to make your own videos better, make sure to drop a like down below. And again, thank you for 500 subscribers, as I appreciate it immensely. This is TechSpecs here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oh wait, I've been filming that the whole time.